Welcome back to my YouTube channel, guys. If you're new to my channel and you do not know who I am, my name is GUHDEHPHILLIP, or Guhde for short. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to the ting. Today, I'm going to be talking about these disgusting accusations about Draya Mack. And later on, I'm going to talk about domestic violence in queer relationships as well. So make sure you lot watch my video to the end, okay? For those of you that do not know who Draya Mack is a musician. She has over 1 million followers on TikTok, and she has opened up for bigger musicians like SZA and Kehlani. She has been featured in Vogue as a notable artist to watch for 2022. And she also received a MOA Awards for Best Song. You know the song, I Never Been With a Baddie? Yeah, that song. The last 2 days have been absolutely insane. A huge long post was posted on Instagram and TikTok, and it says, trigger warning, Draya Mack is an abuser. We have been best friends with Dreya for the past 10 years, and it breaks our heart to have to do this, but we have been informed and shown multiple pieces of evidence from her victim, who is also one of our closest friends, that has honestly left us disgusted and heartbroken. Draya Mack continuously physically and mentally abused her ex-girlfriend for 2 years. This includes acts such as repeatedly punching, kicking, smashing the victim's phone, and an instance where Dreya beat her until she could no longer even stand. Draya Mack has sent the victim multiple threats, telling her to herself and many other sickening messages throughout their relationship, and continue to even after. Dreya would make it seem like her ex had a lot of anxiety around friends and other people, masking the facts whilst manipulating and torturing her behind closed doors. When the victim finally blocked Draya Mack, realizing she could no longer take the abuse, Draya Mack then proceeded to go as far as emailing her and begging her friends, including us, to speak to her, which sparked questionable behavior and led us to have a sit down with the victim to find out what the problem was. After years of enduring all of the pain and abuse, the victim finally gained the courage to speak her truth and told us absolutely everything that had happened. The details are absolutely horrific, and the saddest thing is, this is only a brief 10% of it. She will remain scarred and traumatized for the rest of her life. We will not stand for this behavior. This is a criminal and a narcissist we are dealing with, and Draya Mack is lucky the police aren't involved. With this being said, let this be a warning that she can not enter any space of the ballroom community or anywhere close to the victim under any circumstances, or there will be major consequences. The victim would like to remain anonymous for her own peace of mind. Reading those paragraphs was one thing, but seeing what was attached to those paragraphs, multiple voice recordings of verbal abuse, like, this sounds like controlling and manipulative, narcissistic abuse. That is what it sounds like to me. I'm going to read some of the text threads. It says, please, I didn't mean it. Sorry, I just get frustrated. It's okay though. Still, KLL yourself. Sorry, I'm a bit frustrated, but you don't deserve to be alive. I mean it, so don't tell yourself don't. I'm frustrated, so it's okay. Just, it'll be better off if you did. Anything for a slight bit of validation. You are a WHORE. No one else will want you / love you. So good luck. Letting the whole world have access to how your body looks. Sleeping in the day. You're effing BUM. You don't deserve to be on my team. You're nothing. Answer. There's also an email, and I believe that is the email that they were referring to in the initial paragraphs. The email reads, I understand out of respect and just love for your partner not being able to speak to me, but I am literally begging you. The call was my last straw, and to only have access to reassurance from everyone but you is really getting to me. We were meant to at least have a small bit of closure as friends, but I accepted you made the choice not to, and I respect that. But this isn't you. This isn't how you'd react. Like, I literally know you. Forms of manipulation and controlling. If someone has said these things about our relationship, you wouldn't leave it. You'd at least be there for clarity. Please, I'm begging you, just for one conversation, and you can block me again, and we don't have to speak to each other ever again. I'm going to assume that this person is younger than Dreya, yeah? Dreya is, I believe, 21, 22, 23. Let's just say that. Now, there's so much more. Screenshots, voice notes, live screen recordings of voice notes. And I saw a bit where she was demanding back £6 off of a cab. Excuse me? If I can't ask my man to book me a £6 cab, a cab in itself, it doesn't even matter the amount. If I can't ask my man to book me a cab, I'm packing my shit up, turning this camera off, and I'm leaving this house. Because what? You're not meant to be in a relationship, babes. Relationships are not for you right now. And I'm going to assume that this young lady, this victim, is younger, or if not the same age as Dreya. Dreya is about 21, 22, 23, around that age. And yes, she is a notable musician. She has had a few successes quite early on in her career. But babe, you ain't even scratched the surface on adulthood. And one of the biggest parts of adulthood, which I have come to accept, is accountability. Before absolutely anything else, you need to be accountable for who you are as an individual and know who you are before you step into absolutely any relationship at all. Reading these text messages remind me of my previous relationship. I've told you guys many times to go and watch my coming out video where I briefly discuss my abusive relationship that I was in. Also go back and watch a separate video where I went into detail about that same abusive relationship. The actions match up. The controlling behavior, the manipulation, you'll never be somebody without me. You need me, making it seem like you're needed for somebody's elevation and success. And getting onto someone for staying in bed all day, all these type, babe, there's days where I stay in bed all day. I go through depressive episodes where I cannot get out of bed. But for your partner to be shaming you for that and not uplifting you and supporting you and trying to get you out of it is crazy to me. You should not be speaking to anybody's pick-me the way you have been talking to this young lady. And the abuse I've endured from not only childhood trauma, but that previous relationship I was in, changed me for the rest of my life. I was always told, you're doing too much. Don't do too much. Don't draw attention to yourself. You're doing the most. When I tried to make new friends, I was always told, why are you hanging around with this person? Why are you hanging around with that person? All controlling acts to keep me closed off and to myself and lonely inside. And I'm not even trying to make this about myself, but I just want to share a bit of relatability so that people can understand the damage that abusive relationships can cause on a person. I hope that this young lady, if you come across my video and if you watch this, I hope that this young lady can elevate and soar, and I hope she heals from this. Because even me as a 29-year-old, and that relationship was 10 plus years ago, I'm still dealing with some of my traumas. I have several triggers that I try not to bring into my new relationship, into my new friendships. One thing I will say about this situation, I love the fact that her friends people that have known her for 10 plus years decided to hold her accountable, because you don't see that often. You don't see people actually, and a lot of people say, oh, why do you go to social media? I always say this. Social media is some people's bread and butter. That's how people market themselves. That's how people share, like Dreya, share their music, share their content. And a part of social media is being liked. And if someone decides, right, people need to see who you really are for you to actually look within yourself and change who you are as a person and not show what's pretty to your followers and to your audience. Draya Mack has seen all of the allegations and decided to do a few paragraphs on her Instagram. I would like to address the allegations made against me. I'm ashamed to say these allegations are true. I want to address this with complete openness and honesty because of the person I've affected. Even though I'll never be able to take away her pain and the trauma I've inflicted, all I can do now is take accountability and show my remorse whilst working towards change and becoming a better person. I've been in denial about my behavior for years, and I know the person I want to be, and I'm committed to working on myself, but deep down, I know I've got a long way to go. I acted solely through the hate in my heart towards myself. I inflicted the hate onto someone who was just trying to love and support me, and for that, I will forever be saddened and disappointed with my behavior, and I will carry this regret and shame eternally. I've failed to address some deep-rooted issues over my life, and as a result, I projected that trauma outwardly, not just to the person I was with, but also to my peers and people around me. I'd like to make it clear that I understand this doesn't excuse any of my actions. The responsibility was in my hands and my behavior was unacceptable. The truth is, I've needed help for a long time and I was not brave enough to accept that until a few months ago. I have now addressed it and began anger management, cognitive behavioral therapy while continuing therapy. Even though sorry doesn't change the trauma and hurt I've caused, I sincerely apologize directly to the person I caused this immense pain to. No one deserves to be treated this way, and it is entirely unacceptable. I will use this time solely devoted to change and becoming a better person so this never happens again. One thing I will say about this apology is people are smart. Dreya has only posted this on her Instagram. No caption, nothing. So her fans that love her for her music could read this and not know what on earth she's talking about. And she conveniently didn't post this on her TikTok, where she has a larger following. Another thing I want to add is social media has created some narcissists, and those narcissists only surround themselves with enablers and yes men. And that's coming from someone that was once an enabler and a yes man. So don't come for me. I want you guys to comment down below your thoughts on this apology, because I'm not going to give my opinion on it. I want you guys to do that in the comment section. I forgot to mention, I also saw a video of what is believed to be Draya Mack getting out of a car and trying to bottle someone. Like, girl, come on. One piece of advice that I will give to those of you that are that would love to be in a relationship: find yourself. Find your happiness within. You cannot make someone else happy without making yourself happy first. A relationship cannot work without two whole individuals. If one is whole and one is half or a quarter, majority of the time, that whole person is going to spend their time pouring into that person that may be half. Also, those of you that are in successful relationships and thriving, I want you guys to also comment down below and give me and my followers some advice about relationships. I was abused in different chapters of my life in different ways, and the common thing in every form of abuse was that I was vulnerable. I was at a vulnerable stage in my life. I was weak. I was lonely. I was yearning for acceptance. I was yearning for love. And I sought it out from horrible friends, horrible partners. And I've only taken the time out in the last 3 years to properly heal. That was all for this video. If I've missed anything out, I will leave it in the description box below. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to the ting. And I will see you guys in my next video. Shout out to the friends that made the executive decision to hold their long-term friend accountable. I pray that this happens more often in heterosexual relationships too, because a lot of men are walking scot-free when a woman comes out about some allegations. Just because two people are of the same sex, or just because abuse is coming from a female, it doesn't make it acceptable.